Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna talk today about the decussation of lateral spinothalamic tract. So let me just complete this illustration here of the spinal cord. And then I'm gonna start talking about this structure. Oops. Okay, and here we have the substantia gelatinosa, this one here. And here we have the lateral spinothalamic tract. The lateral spinothalamic. Oi, Vanusa. The lateral spinothalamic tract. Okay, you can see here the decussation of the tracts of both sides, okay? Obrigado, Vanusa. Super beijo aí. Decussation of the tracts of both sides. Let me just do this. Sometimes if you feel pain on the right, remember that might be related with the left, not necessarily with the same side. Thank you all. Thank you. Okay, so let me just finish this part. After finish in English, I'm gonna explain in Portuguese, okay? So here we have the substantia gelatinosa. Substantia gelatinosa. The decussation of the tracts of both sides. Thank you. Lateral. How do you say thank you in German? Lateral spinothalamic tract. Okay. Yeah. Let me just use this. You can tell me later. Okay, I mentioned that before in my last video. I mentioned that the decussation occurs in the white commissure, which is located just anterior to the central canal. Here we have the central canal. I'm gonna use the black one to represent the central canal. Okay, the central canal of the spinal cord. And this anatomical structure is important for the transmission of pain and temperature sensations from the body to the brain. Usually, lesion at this location result in significant clinical consequence that will affect both sides of the lateral spinothalamic tract. So if this part here is injured, it will be bad. Okay, let me just show you where the injury should be might occur. So here we have the spine, a vertebra actually, and if you imagine that here is the anterior part, the one that is towards the front, and here is towards your back. If you touch your back now, when you do massage, when you receive massage, you might feel the hands touching the center of the spine, some bones that will be more popping out, but they will not pop out from the skin. You will just feel underneath the skin these bones here. If you touch your lower back, you might feel your neck as well. This is towards the back, this is towards the front, and this is the front, okay? So this structure here is basically inside this area. Of course, that this is not the correct vertebra. This is a group of vertebrae from the lumbar spine, all lumbar vertebrae. So at this level of L2, you just have towards the bottom the conus medullaris, and affecting both sides of the lateral spinothalamic tract, okay? And this is relevant in conditions such as syringomyelia, where the fluid-filled cyst develops within the spinal cord, and this will compress all the structures. If you have excessive fluid here, it will have what will happen, a compression of the surrounding neural structures, and this compression will lead to to destruction or damage of the crossing fibers of the lateral spinothalamic tract, resulting, of course, in sensory deficit on both sides of the body. Now, just to remind you that this substantia gelatinosa is a region in the dorsal horn of the spinal cord that processes pain and temperature signals, and it's an important part, especially for of the pathway that leads to decussation of the lateral spinothalamic tracts, okay? Lateral spinothalamic tracts. And the lateral spinothalamic tract, I already mentioned in another video, but just to remind you, is a sending pathway that carries information about pain and temperature from the periphery to the brain, and it will originate in the dorsal horn of the spinal cord and will crosses over to the opposite side in the white commissure, okay? And there continues towards the thalamus. And the decussation, which is this part here, let me just highlight. Decussation, which is this part here, the decussation of the tracts of both sides at the level of this it's at the level of the white commissure, and the fibers of the lateral spinothalamic tract from one side of the body cross over to the opposite side, and this crossing will be important because it ensures that sensory information from one side of the body is processed by the contralateral hemisphere of the brain, and as I mentioned, damage at this point can disrupt this bilateral, okay, both sides, bilateral connectivity, and it will lead to sensory loss or abdominal sensations all on both sides of the body. Okay, and I think that this is what I have to show you about this structure. And thank you for your support, thank you for the taps. Let me just do this. The orange one will represent if this is the anterior, the front, this is the right, and this is the left. So let's say that this is the left. We're gonna put the left here and the right here. And what will happen is, oops, I actually wanted to do with the blue one. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. So what will happen is the left moves towards the right all the way up, and the right, I'm gonna use the orange and then the blue over the And that's it. Okay. Left to the right.